Alright, so first off, this story time was voted for in the YouTube community polls from my channel. So anyone who voted, thank you, I appreciate it. I really love when you guys participate in those. It's very helpful. Cause I'm indecisive and I have lots of ideas and desires and all that. Anyways, I'm gonna give you a little bit of background. First, I am 25 years old. This story time is from more than 4 years ago. I've been in a lot of really messed up living situations or complicated ones. So, here we go. So I was living with this chick who I, for a long time, considered to be my friend. And I was living with her and her family, blah blah blah. But you know, her and her family were always fighting. They were always having issues. Plus, the chick, she was constantly like having parties or having people over, and like it would be late night, I'd be trying to sleep before working, and I was working constantly. I was walking across town to go to work and walking home and everything, and it was just a lot because like sometimes I would come home and like I could barely get to my room because her and her friends were in the way, or she was arguing with her family in the way, like people yelling and all kinds of bullshit. And then having to constantly clean up after people was obviously annoying as shit, because that was another thing. She was kind of a slob, so like the kitchen would not be great, and obviously I hate to clean that because messes stress me out. And like you can feel the anxiety and stress in my voice right now because just thinking about all this, I'm losing my mind and my chest feels compressed, I guess would be a good way to describe it. I'm trying to stay calm, but oh my god. This period of time was very not great, obviously. Whoo, child. Yeah. So also, I'm polyamorous, and I was at the time as well. So I was dating multiple people while I was living there, and the roommate, she would constantly be jealous about that shit. And also, whenever I would hang out with her and her friends, most of her friends were toxic and problematic, so that was an issue. And they would have like fights amongst themselves or whatever, and they would have problems with me, and like they'd complain about me being too quiet. But then when I would talk, they'd be like, they'd say I was annoying or they didn't understand my jokes. So I was constantly being outcasted. Like if I didn't hang out with them, they would get offended and be mad and talk shit and be mad at me. Obviously, since I just said be mad, but it was just really annoying because like if I did hang out with them, it wasn't good enough. If I didn't hang out with them, it wasn't good enough. There was literally no winning at all whatsoever in this fucking situation. Anyways, so things got to the point where I just stopped trying as hard with her group. I didn't give a fuck about her group no more because they were terrible. They were trash for the most part. There was like one or two good people, but they didn't really hang out with the others as much, and they broke away at some point, or at least one of them did. Anyways, lots of bullshit happened, as you can imagine. But it got to the point where her and her toxic family, they were fighting and everything, and they started to try and blame me for their issues and everything. But it's just like, first of all, I'm in the middle of all this because you guys kind of put me in the middle of it by, one, keeping me awake at night with your fucking arguing and yelling and throwing shit and lying to each other, and like situations where like I would have to be in the middle of it anyway because I fucking live there. And then just stuff like that, just drama, stupid drama. And again, cleaning up after them, big issue because all of them were adults, all of them. So that was annoying as fuck. Only one of them was nice to me, like to the end, up to the end. Even when they decided to kick me out, one of them was still nice to me. He still gave a fuck, and he was seriously bullied by the others. There was so much fucked up shit with them. Like that family messed up, and I straight up told the roommate. I told her towards the end. I was like, once I'm gone, that's not gonna fix y'all issues. Y'all are still gonna have issues. Because you already did before I was here. And you guys are shitty people for the most part. You're shitty towards each other. Like, at first I was cool with the mom. And then, like, once we got to that last few months, I was like, alright, girl, you're literally letting your children manipulate you and bully you into kicking me out because you don't know how to handle your children. And because you have such a toxic relationship with your children. Like, that was crazy. Like, we were so cool and so chill, and, like, that was another thing. The roommate was constantly feeling like she was in competition with me because her mother respected me and praised me, and I could get along with her mother. Like, I would have conversations with her that were private for either of us. And I actually cleaned up in the house, like I fucking said. I cleaned up after myself, I kept to myself, I paid my rent. The roommate, she made excuses not to have a job for a long fucking time. A long time. Like, it took her forever before she finally got a job. And it was ridiculous. Anyways, she was always doing all kinds of bullshit. Terrible roommate, terrible daughter. It was just trash. And I think I'm going to end it there because that was already a lie. And I'm trying not to give away very specific details because for some people, they would know who the fuck I'm talking about. And of course, the besties already know because I tell the besties everything. Anyways, if you want more story times, let me know. There are different story times where I will get more into detail because either you're not going to find out who the fuck I'm talking about or I don't care. So, who knows?